A glowy soft glam makeup tutorial? Girl, I got you.
We've been done long before it all begun. Still can't give it up. Lead me on, but leave before the morning comes.
Hey girl, let's get to it. So I'm starting out by doing my brows using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. I'm using the shade Dark Brown. And you don't have to start by doing your eyebrows. That's just the process that I do my makeup. It's eyebrows first. So I start by brushing up my eyebrows and shaping them to the way that I want. And then I begin to line the bottom and top of my eyebrows. I don't go above and I don't go below. I literally trace right over my natural brows and then start filling them in. So I just look to see where I need more thickness, more volume in my brows, and start filling in starting from the top, starting from the front, and then moving towards the tail and following the natural shape of my eyebrows. And then using whatever is left on the brush to fill in the front for a more natural look. And so I'm just doing the same thing on the other side, lining the bottom, lining the top, and then drawing the tail. As you can see, my eyebrows are really sparse, especially towards the tail. So that's where I do most of the filling, and that's where my eyebrows are the most dark. And then they get lighter as we go towards the front, just so they look more natural. Filling in the front of my brows is the last thing I do because there's less product on the brush. So it won't be as harsh in the front because there's just less product to work with. And I find that it gives a more natural look the lighter your eyebrows are towards the front. Take your time with this. There is absolutely no reason to rush, especially when it comes to doing your eyebrows. And as you can see, I just keep drawing and then checking and then drawing and checking just to make sure everything looks the way that I want it to look. So now I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Place Coffee Shop palette. I actually recently got this palette and look at all these browns. Love these colors. I didn't really have any browns in my eyeshadow collection. So taking this warm brown shade and using it as my transition color, and I'm putting that all over the lid, and this is gonna kind of serve as like a base for the colors that I'm gonna use for this look. I'm gonna go in with this concealer from Bobbi Brown in the shade Warm Almond, and I'm gonna use this to highlight my brow bone, to give like a natural highlight to my brow bone. I usually do this before I start my eyeshadow, and I kind of take it all over my lid to start like a primer for my eyeshadows. But because I'm using browns and shades that are darker than my lids, I really didn't feel the need to like lighten my entire lid for this look. So I'm just going back and adding in a brow bone highlight to cut down where I had put that eyeshadow just a little higher than I wanted it to be. I'm gonna blend that in using another brush to blend those colors together to give a seamless transition between the eyeshadow and the highlight. Going in with an even darker brown, and I'm going to use this to deepen my crease. Not really trying to like smoke out my eyelids, but just give some depth and some dimension to this brown look that I'm doing. It needed some shaping, girl, so we're giving it some shaping. And then I'm gonna go on my lid with this shimmer gold color. And if you know me, then you know I am a shimmer lid kind of girl. So of course I had to do a shimmer lid for this brown look, and I love this gold. Now I'm also going in with another brown shade just to kind of blend that darker brown with that gold color, so it doesn't look too like harsh of a difference between that dark brown and that gold. Just kind of blending that some more. I added some liner and some lashes off camera, girl, because I had to concentrate, okay? And now I'm gonna go in with the Sephora Smooth and Blur Primer. This is my favorite primer. It just makes your skin very soft, very smooth. It is very blurring, and it gives you like the perfect base to apply your foundation. Make sure it's all rubbed in, and then you can even let it sit on the skin for a little bit so that it soaks in really good and does what it needs to do. And then go in with the NARS light reflecting foundation, and I'm in the shade Bellum. And use a couple pumps, girl. Okay, do not be afraid to use the foundation. Okay, that's how you're gonna get that flawless full coverage look, is by using more than one pump. Okay, and I really do love this foundation. This is gonna be the base for our glowy look. It's not dewy at all, and it's not like gonna give you a moist look, but it does exactly what it says when it comes to light reflecting, which is gonna give us that glow. So this foundation is perfect for glowy soft glam makeup. Okay, and look at that color match. You're not gonna beat that. That color match is crazy. Now I'm gonna go in with the Bobbi Brown concealer again for my under eyes. And don't mind me, girl, I'm multi-filming. Okay, so I'm gonna go under my eyes, and as you can see, I'm not going right up under my eye, but a little bit lower than right up under my eye. And that's because you have these folds under your eye, right up under your eye, these folds. And if you get too much product in those folds, it will spit out the product. You will see it literally coming out and like rolling, sometimes even separating and causing creases. So you don't want that. So I find that placing the concealer a little bit lower so you can build up to your under eye just works better, so you don't have any separation and creasing. Then I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Matchstick in the shade Espresso. And I kind of use this as a contour bronzer mix because I'm not really a contour girl. And I only do my forehead and right on my cheekbones, okay? Then I'm just gonna start blending that out. Blending up into my forehead, and you can see what I mean by it's kind of more like a bronzer for me because the shade is more warm. So it's kind of just like adding warmth and more color to my face rather than contouring, which works for me. If you're a contour kind of girl, then you can get a more darker cool tone shade for that, and then also have a separate shade for your bronzer. But I find that because I don't really like a harsh face, I have a very round soft face, very round soft features, this just works better for me. And you see what I mean when I say to put the contour right on your cheekbone, because when you blend, it starts to go down into the hollows of your cheek. So if you put it in the hollows of your cheek, it's gonna blend below the hollows of your cheek. Place it directly on your cheekbone for a lifted look. So now I'm gonna start blending out my concealer, and I'm just using this really tiny brush. I have no idea where I got this brush, but it is the most perfect brush for blending out your concealer, especially under the eye. It just gets in all the right places. Now I'm just blending out the concealer on my nose, and then also the concealer on my chin. And then under the eye, you will see what I mean when I say blend the concealer up into your eye. So I start by blending out the edges, then I go to the outer corners and work my way in. That way the inner corners is the last thing that I do, and the inner corners is going to have the least amount of product buildup. This is just like a strategy that I have in my mind, and you can see how seamless and flawless the under eye looks when you do it that way. So now I'm going to go in with the Easy Bake from Huda Beauty in the shade Cinnamon Bun, and this stuff is so good. It does exactly what it says. It's going to snatch, it's going to blur, it's going to bake, it's going to do all of that. I'm not really a baking kind of girl. I'm more of a pressed powder kind of girl. I feel like it gives me a more flawless look, and I have dry skin, so I find that when I bake or use an excess amount of powder, it just don't work out for me, girl. It don't. It gives cakey, it gives powdery, and it just doesn't look good. So just use a powder puff, lightly press it into your skin for a snatched, flawless look. Now I'm going to take this Chanel pressed powder, and I don't know what the shade is, but I'm going to use this to set my entire face. I'm going to take this pressed powder everywhere except the concealer under my eye. I'm going to go over my bronzer / contour. I'm going to go over the highlight on my forehead. I'm going to go over everything. This is just going to serve as like a blending situation to merge all of the shades of my face together. It's gonna blend everything so there's a seamless transition between all of the sections of my face and no harsh lines anywhere. So now I'm going in with the Pat McGrath Labs blush in Paradise Venus. I know it looks raggedy, but that's because I broke it and had to repress it, girl. But this is my favorite blush. I love this blush so much, and I'm just going to take it and put it on the highest point of my cheekbones. Okay, keep everything up for a lifted look. As you can see, I have a more round face, so I place my blush at the highest point of my cheekbones towards the outer part of my face. Whereas if I was to have a narrow, slim face, I would place my blush like right in the front on the apples of my cheek, like right under my eyes. So do your blush based on your preference, first of all, but also what's flattering to your face shape. So this is what's most flattering to my face shape. And as you can see, it's a very buildable blush and no blush blindness over here, girl, okay? So now I'm going in with a eyeliner pencil from e.l.f. and I'm just going to line my waterline. And this just gives an intensity to the eyes, especially if you're doing an eyeshadow look. This can really take your look to the next level, trust me, okay? Now I'm also gonna go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Original Mascara. I love this mascara, it's really, really good. And I'm just going to go over my bottom lashes. And this also takes your look to the next level. Do not neglect your bottom lashes, girls, okay? And so then we're gonna go in with our Sephora setting spray all over the face, and I'm gonna literally drown myself in this. Drown it, girl. Drown it, drown it, drown it. And make sure you hold your breath when you're doing this. You might gotta take a second and breathe in so you don't die. But if we gotta die for the beat, it's what we gotta do. But anyways, I just drowned my face to melt all those powders. And so now it's time for our lip combo. Going in with this Wet n Wild pencil in Simma Brown now. This is my go-to lip liner. I feel like it really complements my skin and it complements the majority of my lip combos really well. And then I'm going to take this MAC liquid lipstick in the shade Bodacious. And this color is not as bright as I thought it was going to be. It kind of really blends in with my natural lip color. So it's going to kind of serve as a base for what I'm trying to do, the pink I'm trying to get to. I'm going to add this Juvia's Place pink velvet. And girl, I had to search high and low for this. Y'all took this all out the stores, girl. I finally got my hands on it, and I'm just going to use this to try to lighten up that pink a bit. So I'm going for this baby pink, but I want it to match my skin tone, so I'm kind of doing it in gradual steps. So now I'm going in with this MAC lip gloss in the shade Oyster Girl, and it's going to give this metallic-y, kind of shiny look to the lip gloss. We love that, but I'm still trying to get a little bit more gloss, and this wasn't giving what I needed it to give. So now I'm going in with the Sephora lip plumping lip gloss in the shade Universal, and this is always my go-to for that super juicy look when it comes to gloss, because it just gives everything that I needed to give. Look at that shine, look at that gloss. This is what we were looking for. I love it so much. And it's also lip plumping, so it's super good. And this is the finished look. It's giving glowy, it's giving soft glam, it's giving natural and soft. It's giving everything that I wanted it to give. And here it is with what I'm wearing tonight, because your girl has a hot date, okay? So if you like this kind of content, like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more beauty tutorials. Thanks for watching. Bye.